Welcome, Melanated Married Millionaires in the making and friends, to another impactful episode. We're about to go through and highlight a melanated married couple, or just go through some lessons that we got. Make sure y'all tap in with the conversation. Queen, where can they go to tap in?
TheeM4Show.com.
Yes, ma'am. And make sure y'all follow us on Instagram. Queen, where can they follow us on Instagram?
TheeM4Show.
Now, if y'all haven't liked and subscribed, it would make the Queen very, very happy. If you can go ahead. Very? What should they do?
You should go ahead and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're watching or listening. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
It's free and your first step to becoming a millionaire. Go ahead and click that button. And let's get into the show.
Let's do it.
Welcome back, beautiful, beautiful people. Hope y'all are blessed. Hope y'all are taking inventory of your gifts, of your talents, of just the people around you who care about you, right? Because you're special and you're loved. All right, but welcome back to the Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making show. My name is Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game. And as usual, I have my beautiful, Mauritius, eyebrow dancing, smiling, melanated queen herself. Queen, with your chest, please introduce yourself.
See it with your chest. What is going on, everybody? No,
that was not what I meant at all.
No, what's up, everybody? My name is Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd, and that was my attempt at saying it with my chest.
Thank you. Keep that volume up. You know, we're trying to make sure that this show becomes the #1 show for melanated married couples in the nation. And to do that, we need our audio to make sure the experience is good for y'all, right? So let us know how the audio experience is. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, anything like that, and we need to talk louder, we need to make the volume talk to us. #1 podcast coming to you soon.
This is my eternal struggle because I'm not a loud talker. So hopefully we can do some work on the back end. Thanks, Jair. Appreciate you. Ding. The sound effect for my smile. For those of y'all who are not watching. Can we talk about our new swag?
I was just about to get into it.
Let's talk about it.
Go ahead. Talk to him.
Oh, that's awkward. I was going to drink out of our new
branded
water bottle. We are wearing, first of all, if you're not watching, shame on you. But we are wearing our new swag, our melanated, Melanated Married Millionaires t-shirts, and drinking out of our branded water bottle.
Come on.
Our Melanated Married Millionaires M4 water bottle.
You know, slowly but sure. These aren't available yet. Don't worry. We're not trying to sell y'all nothing. They're not available yet.
Just bragging.
They coming soon. They just came in the mail literally yesterday. But today's episode, right? We talk about the importance of money and wealth within this show. We talk about the importance of specifically the African-American community gaining wealth, gaining freedom, and really freedom of choice and access to just a different type of lifestyle. So we want to talk about today what it means to be a millionaire, like what literally is that definition. We're going to talk about the mindset of a millionaire and some of the habits that millionaires have. And a lot of these things are coming from a book called The Wealth Choice by Dennis Kimbro. Really good book. Highly recommend you get it. There was another one called, what was that other book by Dave Ramsey and Chris Hogan? I think it's called like The Everyday Millionaire or The Millionaire Next Door or something like that. Also a good one that goes through the profile, the habits, and just real simple everyday lessons you can take. But before we get into that, Queen, can you hit them with the did you know and say it with your chest?
Bow, bow, bow. I'm gonna hit you with this did you know as the king is taking a sip of nice hydrating water. Did you know that adding just a little bit of natural salt to your water can help your body absorb the water that you are drinking more efficiently?
Word?
So if you think about before modern technology was a thing, we would drink water from like natural springs and things like that, where there are a lot of natural minerals, sodium, potassium, magnesium found in the water that we used to drink on a regular basis. Water that we're typically drinking in, The typical society is like city water that's been really purified and has been stripped of a lot of its natural minerals. So for some folks, you can drink all of the water you want, but your body doesn't always register that it is H2O because it's something foreign to it. It's like this doesn't have any minerals in it. What is this? This clear substance. What is that? I'm not sure what this is. So sometimes it just goes right through you and your body actually isn't absorbing that water and being able to put it to use. So by adding a little bit of and when I say natural salt, that's like Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, sea salt, something like that is natural, not necessarily the table salt. But going with one of those, adding just a little bit, just a little pinch to your water can help remineralize it and help your body actually absorb it so that it can absorb those natural electrolytes.
Nice.
So that it can send those chemical messengers all over a body, tell your body what it needs to do, what hormones need to do, what at what times. So if you're finding that you're drinking water, but you are not actually seeing the benefits of that, you're still dry, you're still thirsty, your skin's dry, try adding a little bit of natural salts or even some lemon to your water to help remineralize it.
There it goes. And if you're wondering, how does that at all attach to this episode? I'm wondering the same thing, folks. How does it connect, Sinclair? Don't worry, I got you. This is my job. All right. So
I'm like, that is not my role.
That is my job on this podcast, right? To make the abstract connections. So water is also known as liquid. And when we talk about wealth, when we talk about money, we also sometimes ask, like, how liquid are you? How much cash do you have? Right. But just because you have a lot of cash doesn't mean you have a lot of wealth. And sometimes we can produce a lot of cash and we can consume a lot of cash and we're spending it, but we're not able to really retain that money, retain that wealth. And sometimes all you need is a dash of financial literacy. Sometimes all you need is a squeeze of some financial literacy in order to learn how to not just consume and produce that cash, but able to actually hold on to it, mineralize it, retain it with your body, and be able to pass it down to the next generation. So that's what we want to talk to y'all about today, is a little bit of financial literacy and how you can not only make $1 million and get $1 million worth of assets, but also be intentional about actually passing that down to the next generation so they don't have to do the same rat race that you had to do to make your $1 million.
Dang, you're good.
Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and host a podcast with a beautiful young queen. Her name's gonna be Sinclair. Yeah, ooh, there she go. Bow.
My name's Sinclair.
Got her.
I'm a beautiful young queen.
Yes, you are. Come on, you better affirm yourself. But Queen, without further ado, are you ready to get into today's episode?
I am ready.
Beautiful. Well, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Over 50% of Black Americans are unmarried, and only 2% of Black families in America have a net worth over $1 million.
We are on our journey to not only join that 2%, but grow that 2%.
Facts. I'm Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, with my beautiful co-host.
I'm Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd.
And welcome to the M4 Show.
Nasty.
So first off, before you call me nasty, I don't know what it is about drinking water out of here, but it tastes better. I'm pretty sure it's placebo, but there's something just about this the whole process, and then
say so, must be the metallic taste of the
maybe that's what it is. Hello, platinum. I like it. But welcome back, y'all. So real quick, I want to get into the definition of millionaire. I didn't like this definition. It's from Merriam.
You know, be tripping sometimes.
Y'all know we have a problem with Merriam-Webster, but the definition says a person whose assets are worth $1 million or more. And the reason why I don't like that is because you can have $1 million worth of assets, but if you have $1 million worth of debt, you have $0.
That's true.
You know, it has nothing to do. It doesn't have anything with liabilities in here. So for me, and I'm sure this definition is also out there somewhere, but a true millionaire is someone who has $1 million worth of whose assets minus their liabilities equals over $1 million.
Mm.
All right. So assets can be anything from a house, a multifamily complex, a painting, a masterpiece board game, because that's a collectible item. You know what I'm talking about? But anything that you can exchange for cash or value would be an asset. All right. Or anything that's producing you actively cash would be an asset. Would you agree with that definition?
Yes.
Beautiful. A liability is something that either costs you money on a consistent basis or you cannot exchange it for money.
So you would consider a house an asset.
Possibly.
When is it an asset and when is it not?
I believe a house is an asset when it is producing you either producing you money on a monthly basis, like you have an Airbnb situation or you're renting it out. That's an asset. It's making you money. Or when the equity is rising.
So if I'm just a single family living in a single family home, that's not an asset.
Not intrinsically. Again, if that single family home that you're living in and you're looking at the equity and the equity is going up, it's an asset. But the equity, the markets are doing crazy stuff right now. So just because you're in a house doesn't mean that house is an asset for you. If you're in a house right now and there's people that buy a house and it's maybe the mortgage is too much for their income, right? So they're paying $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 per month. These are LA numbers or New York numbers, right? Or San Francisco numbers. But they're paying a lot of their paycheck towards it, but they're not creating any wealth from it. So is that house an asset? Debatable.
What is a car?
Depends. If you use it for Uber and you're making money, or it's on Turo and it's making you money, that's an asset. If it's not making you money, it's a liability.
Okay. Okay. I'm not mad at that definition.
Yeah. Beautiful. So liability, we went over it, right? It could be a car payment, it could be a phone payment, it could be jewelry that you have, clothes that you're buying, all those liabilities, right? So you add up all your amazing assets that you have because you're an amazing investor. And if you don't have them yet, by the end of this year, you're gonna have some assets, right? Start small. And then you subtract what your liabilities are, and that will give you your net worth. And when that number is over $1 million, Shazam! You have now hit millionaire status.
Amelie.
So this is something that we're still striving to get as well. That's why this is still the Melanated Married Millionaires in the making, because we are working on our own mindset, our own habits, and our own asset allocation to make sure that we can become millionaires. And as we're building, as we're grinding, as we're learning, we hope that you're along the ride with us. If you have resources, books, tips, all those things that you think we should be doing that work for you, have worked for a friend, work for your auntie, let us know. Share that wealth.
Share the wealth.
100%. But Queen,
King.
We did a rebrand for folks that might not know, right? We were previously Truvel Forever TH4 podcast, really focused on holistic health, but for us, we were really seeing a need specifically for wealth, and we were seeing that our own energy was making us lean towards wealth and helping others create wealth. Can you talk about what or why this podcast is important for you, right? As a wife, as a potential mother, this is not an announcement of any kind. I gotta right, but someday she will be a mother. Why is this podcast important to you?
So we've talked about kind of what we want. We a long time ago we've been having conversations about what we want our family dynamic to be, what we want to set up for our kids, and we've been preparing that for like the past 5 years. And I think that one of the first things that we said that we want to create for our family dynamic is like a health focused, being proactive about health, which I think is still important, and that's still something that is important to us in our lives. Right, that's why we do the Did You Know? But I also think that there is, for me personally, one of the things that I would like to create for my children is the choice, is that financial freedom that provides the choice for them to really do what they want with
Mm-hmm.
their lives, rather than, I feel like it's pretty normal, and I feel like most of us have had to do it at some time, make a decision based on a need for money,
Mm.
a need for income, right? Graduated from UC Davis with a crap ton of student loans,
That's a fact, y'all.
right?
That
So
is a
that
fact.
affected what type of job I looked for. That affected where I lived, right? That affected a lot of things because I knew that I was going to have this student loan payment every single month that I was going to need to pay off.
Mm-hmm.
So me just graduating college and up and just deciding to go travel the world was never an option,
Mm-hmm.
right? To just to go do what I wanted to do. I mean, I assume I thought I was doing what I wanted to do at the time, but there was still underlying, right, and the a lot of what motivated me to make the decisions that I made was I need to make money.
Mm-hmm. So, what, in your opinion, would you have done differently? Let's say you were set up like we want to set up our kids, right?
Mm.
There's some type of account for them, whether it's a brokerage account or a college savings account where they have, some money saved up and they don't need to go to college, or they do go to college, they graduate, and the world is your oyster, or the
Mhm.
world is their oyster. What decision do you think you would have made differently?
You're asking me for me or
Yeah,
what
you
my
for
kids?
no, you for you. Let's
Mm.
say you graduated from UC Davis, no student loans. You're not
Mhm.
worried about that. And you can live wherever you would have wanted to live in the world. And you can have any job or do anything that you want to do with your time. What do you think you would have done?
You'd have to go back further than that 'cause I don't know that I would have chosen chemical engineering as a major.
Really?
Had
If money wasn't an option, you don't.
Yeah.
What
Now
made you
it was
choose?
interesting. It was
Mm,
interesting to me. That was a very large reason why I chose chemical engineering because I was interested at the time. I mean, I feel like that's the basis of any 17-year-old making a decision of what major they think is going to be a part of what they do for the rest of their life. Is what
mm,
is interesting to me right now. At the time in high school, chemistry and math were very interesting to me. Physics a little bit too.
mm,
So I was like, I don't really want to do just chemistry. So like maybe some engineering. I've kind of been interested in how things work and okay, well, how can you combine chemistry and engineering? Oh, there's chemical engineering. Let me go and try that.
mm.
That was really it.
Got you. So before you get off on a tangent, that's what you do, Queen. A little
I'm
bit.
just answering your
Yeah,
question.
yeah, I got you. Before you get too far from the millionaire's mindset. All right, we're gonna get back to the episode in a second, but breathe. If you've ever had a brilliant idea, I'm pretty sure everybody just took a breath right there, right? Because we all have amazing ideas. But I got a question for you. What's stopping you from taking that idea and actually making it into a business, actually executing on your brilliance? My name is Devon Truvel, and in 2018, I was able to create, market, and sell my own product while still working a 9 to 5. And through the years, I've taken the lessons we've learned, the expensive webinars that I've gone to, and the dozens of business books that I've read, and I've discovered 7 simple steps to launch your business. If you're ready to take your business idea to the next level and make it real and start making profit from your passion, head to www.launchitcommunity.com and grab yourself the book. We've been able to make it very simple, affordable, and easier than ever to start that business while still working your 9 to 5. And we take entrepreneurs every single Friday and we talk to them. We teach them about how to use social media. We teach them about how to set up their Instagram account, how to use Shopify, how to use Printful, and other tools that can help you take your business to the next level, but not take tons of time away from your 9 to 5 and your busy life that you already have. So if you're ready to take that idea to the next level, make sure you head to www.launchitcommunity.com, get yourself a book, and join our free accountability calls. Now, let's get back to the episode. So, what would you have done if money wasn't an option? What would you have done? I know you said you would study something differently. Okay, what is that something
I
different?
might have pursued dance
Why?
because that is something I liked to do, and I was always worried about a career in dance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that is something, and I feel like I was worried about like having a short career as a dancer. Like, what do you do after that? I needed a backup plan. Um, but yeah, it's very possible that I would have pursued dance just because it's like, why not? I'm young. This is the best time to do it. I like doing this. I want to be a backup dancer for Beyonce. So why not just dance?
Beautiful. That's the point that I wanted you to make sure that we hit hard is when you have the choice and money isn't an option, you can do what you love.
Right.
You can do your passion instead of having to be like, how can I make money? Chemical engineering, I can get a really good job, or being a backup dancer for Beyonce, still a really good job. Arguably, you would have gotten paid more for that.
I couldn't even tell you.
Right? Sorry, babe. your time's not done. You can still dance for Beyonce.
Stop.
Hey, Queen Bae, hit her up. She can do a little move or something.
A little
move or something. But so that's what you want to be able to give our kids, is that option to choose their passion instead of choosing what would you call it? Choosing the grind, choosing
what you think will give you the lifestyle that you want to live. I'm like, that was, and I think it's hard to even answer that question because again, it's hard to imagine life without needing to make money. Like that's just always been ingrained. Like you go to college, you get a job because you need to support yourself. Like that's been ingrained in me, in most of us. So it's hard to even fathom or imagine and put myself in that mindset when I'm 17 years old. I don't know.
So this is why the importance of passive income and mailbox money is so vital, right? So I want to do a real quick calculation with you. Let's say you have $1 million and you put that $1 million
cash money,
$1 million cash money or digital. It's in a bank account somewhere. Not
I want cash money, dollar bills.
No, you don't. Okay. But you have that digital currency or cash money that you deposited, and you put that into a mutual fund. That mutual fund gets you 8% return. You know, knock on wood. That's usually the norm, right? 8% return, that mutual fund. So now, by doing nothing, all you did was invest that $1 million. You're now making, what's that, $80,000 a year in
Absolutely
interest.
nothing
by doing nothing. Right. So the idea of having to go to work and grind because you need money doesn't have to be a reality for our kids, because if we're able to save enough money, and $1 million, that's a lie. It doesn't have to be $1 million. It can be 500,000, it can be 400,000, 200,000. Either way, you can make passive income once you learn how to use that money. Or the queen is becoming our real estate guru, right? So you get yourself a real estate property that has 4 units, 5 units, 10 units, 30 units, dream big, whatever it is. Invest in that property, have a property management company that then collects the rent for you. They do all the maintenance, and you just get the monthly check every single month. Mailbox money, right? These are things that we're not going to go into deep in this episode, but we're going to bring experts in that can teach us and teach y'all how to really do these things, so that you and then hopefully your kids, the next generation, don't have to work for money. If you choose to work because you love it, it's beautiful. If you love it, do it.
What do you think you would have done differently if money was not a need?
Now, I would for sure pursue writing 100% and filmmaking 100%. But in high school, I don't know if I had a real passion in high school yet. I think I was still developing. I think I was still learning who I was in high school. I did like Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards and movies and stuff. So I feel like I still would have done. Yeah, I was a nerd. Still am a nerd. Shout out to my nerds out there. What's up, y'all? What would I have done? Yeah, no, I think I would have went into something movie related still. But at that time, I hadn't written too many things. I wrote my first book in like middle school. It was called Dreamland, but then I lost it, and I think I never wrote anything after that because I was like, oh, I lost my masterpiece. It's over. My writing career is over. 13-year-old years old. Drama. But yeah, I don't know. I would have went into something movie related, entertainment related.
Gotcha. We might have still crossed paths
Mhm.
in the entertainment industry.
100%. What do you think, or I'm gonna shift this a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
Quinn. What do you think are some of the most important mindset or habits that millionaires need to have, or people need to have to become millionaires? And while you think about it, I can go first because I've read a book on it.
The whole, yep.
A whole book.
Yeah.
Right. So first thing, I'll say one just to give you time and then bounce back and forth. You know what I'm saying? But number one, I think millionaires need to not be afraid of work,
Mm.
which sounds counterintuitive because we're talking about, oh, millionaires, like you get the mailbox money, you don't have to work anymore. True. But that's the end result.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, oh, I mean, wake up. I want to be a millionaire today. And you just go out and you buy a real estate property. You go out and you invest in $1 million in the index funds or stock market. You have to, one, learn this financial literacy, right? Whether it's through podcasts, through books, through interviewing other people. There has to be some type of learning process.
Mm-hmm.
And then there needs to be a trial and error process because
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to be, possibly successful the first time you try to build wealth. You may lose some money, you may break even, and it's going to take a little bit of trial and error
Mm-hmm.
and more learning to figure out, okay, this is what I'm supposed to buy, or this is how the real estate market works. And then it takes another time period of, I think, repetitive execution.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think when or if you want to be a millionaire, you cannot be afraid of the work, and you cannot be afraid of the studying and learning process is what I would say.
It's a good one. I'm gonna go with millionaires need to understand the value of delayed gratification,
Mm-hmm.
because it kind of piggybacks off of your first point, but I won't say you can't, but it is going to be very hard for you to live the lifestyle you want to live now and also create the lifestyle you want to live later. It's not impossible, but you might be compromising. You got to give somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you can stretch yourself and live the lifestyle you want now. By that I mean, like, sure, we could be living in a nice single family home somewhere with a high mortgage,
Mm-hmm.
but we would really be stretching ourselves and possibly having to spend more time working jobs that pull us away from being able to create this wealth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is a situation a lot of folks are in, right? You may be living slightly above your means to where now you have to kind of stress yourself and spend more time working for somebody else in order to make the money to pay your mortgage, right? Or to pay your rent or whatever it is.
Yep. And that's why I was saying real quick that the house can be a liability.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah.
It can, right? And so that's kind of focusing on the now, right? You're living the lifestyle you want to right now, but it is kind of, in that situation, sacrificing the lifestyle you want to live later on. Whereas you can sacrifice a little bit now, live below your means, and be able to have more time, more energy to put towards whatever you want, whatever your pathway to wealth is going to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think delayed gratification is an important thing for folks to learn, because like you said, like, it's not like most folks are going to be able to wake up and become millionaires overnight, unless you just have a trust fund and it's your 18th birthday. Ah, that's a very small percentage of folks, right? Especially our audience, right? It's something you're going to have to work for over years, right? Possibly. So I think it's important to value putting off that lifestyle you want to live a little bit, and that delayed gratification for later.
There's a whole movement called FIRE, free, independent, retire early.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Y'all let me know if y'all heard of it and if that's the correct acronym. FIRE, free, independent, retire early. And what they do is basically you're trying to live off of, I think it's 30% of what you make.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want to live off of,
Mm-hmm.
which is craziness, right? When you
Mm-hmm.
think of that budget and It's craziness. But you're living off of 30% of what you make, and that's your rent, that's your car payment, that's your food. Apparently, a lot of these folks, they decide to, like, I'm gonna eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or ramen or canned bean, just like, I'm gonna eat stuff that's very, very affordable, not the healthiest.
I'm
Yes,
not
ma'am.
an advocate for eating processed food to save money.
No, she's not an advocate of eating processed food, period.
Period.
Oh, but they're making all these decisions, like you were saying, like they're sacrificing early
Mhm.
in order to be able to retire by the time they're 30 or 40 years old. And what they're doing is they're taking that 70%, putting it into the stock market, putting it into real estate investment, investing it to create passive income for themselves, so that when they're 30, when they're 40, they now can ball out, still a strong word, but they don't have to work anymore.
Mhm.
um so yeah, I think that's a good movement. I wish I would have learned about it a little bit earlier.
Mhm.
I think at this point in my life, I have a bougie wife, and I can't live that lifestyle, but I respect the grind that y'all have, Fire Nation out there.
I mean, it's not like we're too far on the other side of the spectrum considering
True.
our current lifestyle and predicament. So,
Explain.
I mean, we've had a whole episode on we live in grandma's house right now, right?
Mhm,
I I've I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast before, but talk about to you.
mhm,
I drive an '07 Honda Accord that was
mm,
passed down to me by my dad. Like,
mm.
I think we're, d- delaying a lot of that
We are.
gratification. So
We
like
are.
the one thing that I think that has created that lifestyle is one, being able to quit my job, right? That's been like the biggest thing that is worth everything else.
Mhm,
Don't get it twisted. Um, but also like travel. I think
mhm,
travel has been that one thing that's given us a little bit of taste of like the lifestyle we want to live in the future. We've still been, not in the past year, but aside from, pre this past year, we've still been taking our trips, which is something we want to continue to do
mhm.
even once we are financially free.
Of course, we want, yes, 100% still want to take those trips.
Right. So that's something like we've done now. We will obviously level up our trips, but it's like I'm not we don't need to wait to travel the world, right?
Mhm,
We young, we noble, we kid free right now. Let's
mhm.
get that travel in. So I feel like that's been the one thing that we haven't necessarily delayed. But
And
I
food.
feel, and yeah, and food, we eat good food, of course. But I feel like for a lot of other things, we've delayed some of that.
I agree with you, but you're not hearing me when I say the Fire Nation. Like, it's a different level of delay.
I know
Like,
you're saying I got a bougie wife. I'm just like, I don't know that we're necessarily living on the other side of the spectrum. We're not on the definitely not on the 30% of
right.
the. Anyways, you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's what I was saying is, if I was Devon,
Mhm.
I would be living possibly off of the 30%. It's a little bit more realistic.
Mm,
But with Amazing Beautiful Queen, yes, we are still making very strategic and intentional moves. But it's not like the Fire Nation. Y'all a whole nother level. Respect to y'all. We can't do it. But y'all do your thing. We gonna be over here making board games and writing books and animated series and health coaching and doing all that stuff to build up extra funds so that we can travel and eat really good food. Bow, bow, bow. But what I do want to say is, I think sometimes folks get discouraged with trying to become a millionaire
mm,
because they think that, oh, the millionaires are made from trust fund babies, or a lot of y'all just get the money passed down. Actually, 88% of 88% of millionaires in America are self-made millionaires.
what does that mean?
That means that they didn't get a trust fund, or they didn't get their millions passed down to them. They made their money on their own,
Mhm.
right? So you can be a part of that 88%. We want to be a part of that 88%. And the reason why we started this podcast was because we learned that only 2% of Black families in America have a net worth of $1 million.
Mhm.
We say this all the time. That is a problem.
Yeah.
When we talk about health statistics within the Black community, we talk about education statistics, home ownership, all of those things, I think, are impacted by how much money and wealth you have access to. Would
Yeah.
you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, it's like the trickle down effect. Like everything is a I don't it not necessarily to talk about what causes the other, but that everything affects each other, right? So yes, each generation, right? We grow up, we kind of got to start over a little bit where it's like, okay, I got to go to college, or I just got to go work a job, right? To make money. Um, and then maybe you get stressed out from that, right? Stress brings more health outcomes. You got to live you got to live within a certain budget. Sometimes that can mean more processed food, more fast food, right? Whatever you can get your hands on with for cheap,
Mm,
right? And that's how a lot of our community, unfortunately, is living, is within the means that they have financially. So I think being able to lift that I don't want to say burden, but
mm.
that financial need, I think, just opens up a whole different world of opportunities, that, yeah, I think we deserve. Absolutely.
I agree 100%. I do want to take a short break and highlight our sponsor for today.
Okay.
Our sponsor for today is the Urban Boss Network, which provides a platform for Blacks and minorities to get together, build community, network, and just all around have a good time. We actually did a tabling event with the UBN, the Urban Boss Network. What was it, for Juneteenth? Or was it before Juneteenth?
I don't No, not this year, because
Not
Juneteenth we did
okay.
FNL.
We were at the Fairmount Park. What was the occasion for that?
I couldn't tell you. It might have just been, maybe
Might
it
just
was a Juneteenth.
I feel
Maybe
like it
just
was a Juneteenth event, but it was like before actual date of
yeah,
Juneteenth.
maybe.
But they had another amazing event at Fairmount Park Market, and they just do a really good job at bringing folks within the IE together, have fun, and it usually is, from at least my experience, family friendly.
Yeah,
Right, kids are
definitely.
running around, doing what's it called?
They did
Water balloon tosses,
yeah, they did a tug of war.
tug
That
of
was
war.
entertaining.
Oh yeah, real good fun. So if you are in the IE, Riverside, Moreno Valley, Fontana, San Bernardino, Temecula, shout out to all the IE cities. Make sure you follow the Urban Boss Network on Instagram. Get tapped in with them. They have events at this point almost every other week. So definitely tap in. And UBM, when y'all want to collaborate, go ahead and we got your contact. We're gonna go ahead and do something with you very, very soon. We got you.
Definitely.
We got you. But getting us back to the show, one last habit that I want to highlight before we move on to the Ask Declare segment is reading the Wealth Choice by Dennis Kimbrough. It says there's a whole profile on the affluent African American, their habits, what they do, the cars they drive, how long they've been married, how many kids they have. Like, they really breaks it down and makes it like, if you want to be a millionaire, here's the life that maybe you should emulate. But one of the things is waking up at 5:30 a.m. and going to sleep by 11 p.m.
Mhm.
Right. So that's something very tangible that you can kind of look at your own schedule, look at your own life, and be like, okay, am I doing this one thing? Another one is that they go to church, right? They're putting themselves in a network on a consistent basis, and they're donating or tithing 10 to 15% of their income, right? So they're willing to give back and part from their money, as long as that money is going to a charitable cause,
Right.
right? Let's see. Let's try to think of one more thing. Oh, a lot of them came from low income families,
Mm.
and this was a previous generation, but their parents made $10,000 to $20,000.
Mm.
All right, so they're not, again, coming from a lot of money, not coming from a lot of privilege, but they did come from a generation that valued work, valued education, and,
Values money.
and valued money.
I feel like that is one of the I guess, pros of
Mm,
coming from a family that doesn't have a lot of money, is I feel like you are going to value a dollar
mm,
a little bit more than maybe someone who grew up with money,
mm,
right? If money's never an a need for you, not I'm not don't want to put a blanket statement out there, right? There are definitely things that we plan to do for our kids to make sure that they value money, and I know that a lot of families do intentionally.
Listen, our kids will be working. I
Yes.
kids be working.
But it can also be the situation where, because you've never had to value money, because you've always had it, you may not actually value it as much. So I think that is one of the good things, I think, about coming from being able to build it from scratch, is
Mm.
like you really value $1 because you know what it's like to not have much.
A fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, something else that we are building from the ground up is this brand, the M4 show, Melanated Married Millionaires, in the making. And what I want to know, Queen, in our Ask Declare segment is, what are you most looking forward to with this brand? Right. I think right now we're talking about the why behind it, right? The fact that only 2% of families that look like us reach millionaire status. But when we think about the vision of what M4 can grow into, what are some things that just make you like, ooh, I'm excited for this?
So I'll answer this in 2 ways. I will talk about like a moment that I'm going to be very excited for, like a singular moment, and that is going to be when we help our first couple or our first family reach that millionaire status. So it's going to be one thing to reach it for ourselves. That's going to be pretty amazing. It's going to be a whole nother thing to help another family do it, because I feel like that further solidifies that not only are we doing the right thing for us, but like we're making impact in the world. And I feel like we're trying to help 100 couples. You know, that's like our first initial goal. That has to start with one. So I feel like that's really going to just show us that like we're actually doing something on this show and making a difference. And that's going to be a very tangible step to show us like, well, let's 10x this. Like, how do we help more people, right? So I'm going to be very excited to get the picture or the Instagram tag or whatever it's going to be, where we find out like, dang, so and so, you know, they just reached their $1 million status. I'm going to be really excited for that.
See, I feel like, and you know me, I'm a programmatic person and very people oriented. So I see it as like a almost, I think you might have said this before, rites of passage situation ceremony, where it's like you're in the M4 community, you have the Melanated Married Millionaires in the making stuff on, you know, all your swag that you have. But at some point when you reach that millionaire status, we have a nice rites of passage ceremony, and then you get a M4 plaque or something else that says, boom, you are now a Melanated Married Millionaire.
Yes, take off the in the making.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I think we should definitely eventually start thinking about like what we want that to look like. But I think that would be really cool. But I think another thing that I'm excited for just along the journey, and what I'm excited for specifically for this brand, is building that community. We talked about last podcast how, you know, it's lonely at the top, and I feel like it would be very disappointing to get to that status and then look around and be like, dang, we have no one to celebrate this with, right? And I feel like it's I'm very excited to be able to have this be a real journey that we're taking folks on with us, so that when we reach that status, we know that if there may not be other people like right along with us, maybe we've got folks that may beat us, right? But
I hope so.
Right, if at minimum, I think we'll know that we have people, you know, coming behind us, right, that are also going to reach that status, that are going to be able to live that life with their family, right? Going to be able to travel, going to be able to, you know, have those opportunities for their children, provide that financial freedom, that opportunity to do what they want, you know, for their children, everything we've talked about, you know, for their family. So I'm definitely excited to just be able to kind of be creating that village of folks, that we can lean on, that we can create that community with, that we can, you know, our the folks that our kids can be able to go play with, and play dates and all that fun stuff. So yeah, share resources. So yeah, I'm just excited to be able to really create that community so that we don't have to be like, dang.
Yeah, it was cool. So we went to shout out to Kai for having that amazing birthday party. Happy birthday. But it was cool to be able to see just a lot of beautiful older Black couples, successful couples, just in that space, just having a good time, dancing. You know, she has a beautiful estate, a beautiful home, and it was just beautiful just to see Black excellence in that space. So I feel like I want that for us and for our family and for our friends around us. Like, I want to be that 60-year-old couple. We got our kids, they grown, we got all of our friends, and we're all just living our best lives together.
Right. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
For those that don't know, I'm currently in a $1 million race with my dad, 2 of my cousins, and 2 of my good friends. So earlier when the queen said, "I hope you beat us," that doesn't count for y'all. I want to beat y'all. I still want y'all to get millionaire status, and obviously I'll help you get
You
there.
can be like
But
the day after
yeah,
us,
the day after, I just want to beat you so that I can win what the bet is. Okay, cool. Just want to say that formally in case y'all were like, "Oh, Devon's giving up." No. That's not what happening. I'm still in this race. I'm still about to beat y'all. Best believe. Let's go.
Friendly competition never hurt nobody.
Look, iron sharpens iron. What I love about it is we're all in competition with each other. But at the end of the day, it's like we're all winning because
Right.
as I'm learning, oh, this is how we're going to do this real estate move, or this is what we're doing in business. I literally tell them all that stuff as they're learning. Oh, this is what you do in the credit card game, or this is how you build business credit. This is what you do here. Boom, they're sharing that knowledge with me, and literally everybody is winning. And
Even the losers win.
even the losers win. At the end of the day, like I think the bet for my dad and my cousins is like lunch or dinner. So it's like
It's not like anything crazy.
It's nothing crazy. It's just like, oh, you're a millionaire now. Cool. We're all gonna buy you dinner. It's like beautiful. And I feel like when I win,
I like what you did
you
there.
know what I'm saying? When I win, I'll probably just buy them dinner because it's like I'm the millionaire here. Why would you pay for me? And then I think for my friends, I think we said a Rolex. So that one is a little bit more invested because Rolex, what, like $4,000, $5,000, so a little bit more expensive. But again, everybody wins in this race because iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
For me, what I'm most excited about for M4, I think, is I've told you this, you know this, but in case this is your first episode, amazing people.
It's radical things.
I think the most radical thing that you can do is build a beautiful, wealthy Black family. Because that's literally the opposite of, in my opinion, what the society helps create, right? So to be able to be a part of helping increase the number of folks that get married, to be able to be a part of helping to increase the wealth in the Black families, like we will be a part of that revolution, that love revolution, where Black families are being able to build wealth together, buy multifamily properties, start businesses, and I think just truly shift the culture and society for our community. So that's what I'm most excited about. Is basically the same thing as what you said, but just
different lens.
Just a slightly different lens, and really being like, we're doing revolutionary type work here, just talking about love and talking about wealth, which is interesting,
right?
Because it really shouldn't be revolutionary.
It really shouldn't be,
but it is at the same time. If y'all are excited, make sure you like and subscribe to the Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making YouTube. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers so that we can start monetizing the show. And what we make with the show, y'all know, just gets poured right back into y'all, right back into the community. We got some really dope events that may be coming in the future. We're excited. Y'all see the swag that's coming as well. So we really are invested into not only this brand, but obviously the mission of what this brand, the vision of what this brand stands for. So if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, and on anywhere where you listen to podcasts. Make sure you follow the M4 show, Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making, to help us reach more people. Queen, before we end for today, any announcements, resources, smiles that the people should be aware of?
As usual, we got the weight loss accountability group still recruiting over here. So if you are trying to, slim down a little bit, shed a couple pounds, feel so much better, and look so good that you're gonna go back into the closet and pull out that freakum dress.
Get your lines.
No.
Okay.
I'm just gonna switch it up sometimes, Faithful listeners want to hear the same thing every time. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Okay. But yes, if that is you and you need a community of strong women to help you reach your goals, we got the Queen to Queen Weight Loss Accountability Group popping on Telegram. So come join us. You can go to queencoaching.com and sign up for the Weight Loss Accountability Group, which is free.
Boom. And on the other side of that, if you would like to learn about wealth, learn about the history of Tulsa Black Wall Street, have a good time, and be the number one entrepreneur in your household, then you need to go to playblackwallstreet.com and get the number one family fun board game for teaching financial literacy and Black history at the same time. Go to playblackwallstreet.com and empower your family, empower your kids, and empower yourself today. I appreciate you. So good, Queen?
I'm good.
Good.
I think this is a good we didn't go overboard this episode.
Not yet.
What you mean not yet? You got more to say?
You are still actively speaking.
And we're done. Cut. No.
Oh man.
We always say this is gonna be a short episode, and then we're here for an hour and a half. So
Right.
I think this is a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. We've talked about, I don't know if we talked about it pre-podcast. It's been a long weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But we know we had to make sure we were staying consistent, still get to y'all, still get on these frequencies, and make sure that we are doing our job in your journey and our job in our own journey and sticking to it. Right. Yep. So keep going, y'all. Keep going. But as usual, appreciate y'all for tapping into the Melanated Married Millionaires in the making. I'm your host, Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game.
And I'm Sinclair, a.k.a. the health nerd.
Make sure y'all secure the love, secure yourself, and of course, secure the bag. Peace. Thank you for supporting the M4 show and our mission to increase the wealth of Black families.
If you received any value from this episode, any value at all, any, do us a favor and give us a like and subscribe on YouTube and Apple, Spotify, anything, all of them, all of them, wherever you're listening, go ahead and like and subscribe.
And after you like and subscribe, make sure you send this episode to at least one family that you really want to see win. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.